Hello explorers, welcome back to our channel. Today's episode is very special because we'll be talking about birding. Now if you've seen our very first bird watching episode, we have travelled to Usman Sagar Lake, which is around 14 kilometers from here. It's a pleasant getaway from the noise of the city into a quieter landscape. But let me make it very clear, it's not mandatory that you have to travel somewhere very far from the city to enjoy bird watching session. Of course, some places give you much better experience in terms of better and serene landscape. But I repeat, it's nothing like you cannot bird elsewhere. Bird watching is simply the art of observing the birds and identifying them in their natural habitat. And that habitat can even be a city.
Today's episode is going to be about urban birds. And what are urban birds? They are just the birds adapted to living alongside us, around us in the urban space.
Simply put, urban birds are the ones that have adapted to living alongside people in towns and cities. They are not necessarily the most common birds, rather they are the birds that share everyday living spaces with us. They live around apartment complexes, along the roadsides, in school campuses and parks, on our balconies and gardens, in vacant plots, around urban lakes, and even on the avenue trees they pass by every day. You can watch how they look, listen to the bird calls, notice the way they fly, where they perch, what they eat, how they interact with one another, and the places they choose to live in. That's it. That's really what bird watching is. Some people enjoy identifying different species, some photograph them, others simply spend time watching their behavior. There is no right or wrong way to enjoy bird watching. What is more important is to understand that bird watching is about observing birds, not disturbing. You can just take a look out of your window, take a walk around your neighborhood, step into your backyard or climb up to your terrace. Depending on what kind of place you live in, you will find birds of that habitat. So if you are in a city surrounded by concrete structures, you will find birds that have adapted to such habitat, and those birds are called urban birds. These birds are not hidden away in the wildlife sanctuary or deep inside a forest. They are right here sharing our neighborhood with us. We don't chase birds, call them closer, feed them for photographs or interfere with their nest. We simply allow them to go about their lives while we quietly watch and appreciate them. Whether you spend 10 minutes on your balcony or an entire morning at a lake, the experience still remains the same. Slowing down, paying attention, and discovering the fascinating lives of the birds that share our world. So as you can see, we currently live in a suburban living space, which means concrete buildings, busy roads, noisy traffic, ongoing construction and comparatively less greenery. Lucky for us though, we have this patch of greenery right beside us, and honestly this is becoming quite rare in a rapidly growing urban landscape.
Over the period of 1 month, we've been observing this area and we have seen a lot of activities. Certain birds that started coming here, then they started pairing. They have families here. And it's not like you have to travel to a lake or a forest or a hill area to have a birding experience. If you have seen the first birding episode that we did when we went to Usman Sagar Lake, we go regularly over there. It's a beautiful place, total complete getaway from the city noises, and except the wind part, there is no other noise in those remote areas. But you don't have to travel such distances, find a fancy spot like a lake, riverside, forest area or the hilltops just to have a birding session. Birding session can happen anywhere you are in. Birding is all about understanding the behavior, watching them, and you are figuring out what you can understand from their behavior.
And that's pretty much been our routine over the past month. Every morning coming up here, watching, listening, waiting. Some mornings are very active and some are surprisingly quiet. But every single morning has given us something new to observe. Come, let me show you our watch area. This entire tree cover is where we spend most of our mornings. Around sunrise, we usually come up here and stand at a few regular viewpoints. From here, we calmly watch and wait. You see the tamarind tree over there? That's a branch from our episode, Urban Tree Branch. Quite often, different birds come there to rest, play, feed, or just spend a few moments before flying away. In fact, we have another compilation from that very branch which we'll be sharing soon. Now, over there are the lead trees. If you have watched the episode on coppersmith barbets, you would know they are seen around those trees. Interestingly, barbets are heard much more often than they are seen. Since we are observing them from the rooftop, almost the same height as a canopy, we get a slightly better view than someone standing on the ground. I think they also feel a little more secure because this side remains largely undisturbed. We were genuinely surprised one morning when we spotted 5 barbets together. This is Babul tree. Our recent sunbird episode was filmed almost entirely here. And this is a big lead tree. Our bulbul pico loves this place. The spotted dove pair often spends time here too. The Asian koel usually begins its morning from this tree. Most of the other birds stay in the trees farther away. The parakeets prefer those taller trees in the distance and rarely come this side. Drongos, flycatchers and several other birds are only occasional visitors to us. Realistically, we probably manage to capture only about 20 to 25% of what actually happens around here. But that's the point we're trying to make. You don't have to see every bird, you don't have to photograph every bird, you don't have to reach any nest. Watch what you can, listen to what you can, observe what nature is willing to show you and never try to intrude beyond that. Of course, there are birds that are almost always flying overhead. Everyone knows the crows, some may also know black kites. Interestingly, before getting into bird watching, most of the people confuse black kites with eagles. Then there are little swifts with their distinctive white rump, the Asian palm swifts, swallows, dusky crag martins flying across the skylines. Now, depending on where you live, the number and variety of birds you will see may vary. And that's exactly why we spent an entire month in this urban landscape, to show you that birds are already around us, living along with us in this very busy city. Some of them are resident birds that live here throughout the year. Some visit regularly and a few are seen only occasionally. If you have watched the last 9 episodes of Nature Moments, each of those stories came from this very neighborhood. They weren't random bird videos. They were moments from the daily lives of birds that share space with us.
Any landscape that you are surrounded with, there will be trees, there will be some water body or some trees around you. So birds will come, 1 or 2 birds will come, will show up. And if you really are interested in watching birds, start with the common bird that's come to you, because every single thing has to start from somewhere. So it can be a crow, it can be a sparrow, it can be a myna, it can be any sort of simple looking bird, common bird that comes every day. They'll just come, they'll just be there and give a call. You can just observe. If you have a camera, take a pic, understand their names, understand the way they are behaving. The behavioral thing is most interesting about the birds. Never go searching for their nesting areas, but just observe them. You'll try to understand their names, how they look, why a bulbul has different names like red-vented bulbul, red-whiskered bulbul. Of course, we will discuss all those things on our channel, and we'll show you all the different kind of things the birds do and different kind of birds that are around in our country. Bird observations will not happen in a single day. You can keep looking after common birds, and once you understand, okay, this is a bulbul, this is a crow, this is a sparrow, you understand the first identity of a bird thing, like a crow, the main names. Then the secondary names will come, like house crow, the red-vented bulbul, the house sparrow, like that kind of, the little more detailing about the bird, and lot more we will obviously talk in the channel. But if you are also interested in understanding the birds and wanting to know about it, you can just simply start observing the birds around you. Keep watching, keep learning, and we will get back with our next bird.
So that's pretty much it. All you have to remember is that birdwatching is not about traveling to farther places in search of birds. It's all about observing the birds around you, may it be from your window, from your balcony, your terrace, or your own street. The only thing you have to remember is that you are just an observer and you don't have to disturb the birds. So if you're interested, just start watching the birds, the most common ones around you. See what excites you about the birds. Try to observe their common features, their calls, and see how they behave. We'll also be discussing more about birds in our channel, so stay tuned, keep watching, and happy birding.